What's up guys, Octave Game here, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're back with some F1 2020 My Team Career Mode. It's the Austrian Grand Prix. As you can see, we've already got some upgrades for the car. It's been quite an up and down season so far. Yeah, this may be the last season of my team, the second and last, because F1 2021 is coming out next week. So I'm sure you guys might just stop watching my videos once F1 2021 comes out. But if you guys are really the OGs and the real subscribers, you will stick around and watch even if it's December of this year and I'm still playing F1 2020. But we've got a new sponsor. We can make way for some a new sponsor. Sponsors help us earn money. They decorate our car. So many things. Sponsors are good for so many reasons. And while we're gonna have a new sponsor, we have to get rid of our previous sponsor or renew the contract. But yeah, I just hope that in this Austrian Grand Prix, a track I'm very strong at, a track I'm really good at in time trial, and any other game mode on the F1 2020 game, then I think we're on for a good result. I don't think we're gonna be finishing at the back today, but I really feel we'll be finishing somewhere at the front. So it is time to go for the Austrian Grand Prix, the Styrian Hills, the Red Bull Ring, and we're out into the garage for practice 3 for the session. And now we're getting to the end of the track acclimatization program. So a lap of Austria, braking to turn number 1. Don't do a corner cut there. Don't exceed track limits. A bit of a moment at the exit of the corner. And then onto this straight where the toe is effective. And then into turn 2, which isn't really a turn. It's more of a kink. And then into a proper turn, which is turn 3. Make sure you don't do what I've just done there, where you go on the power too early out of turn 3 onto this DRS zone, the third consecutive DRS zone on the track, and then breaking down into turn 4. I'm sure Alex Albon, Sergio Perez and Charles Leclerc don't have good memories of that place. But coming out into turn number 6, turn 6 I'm sure it is, and then into turn 7, yes this is turn 7, you want to keep the power, keep your car stable, and then through turn number 8, coming up the hill, and then we're going to go down the hill into the Jochen Rindt curve. I think it's the Jochen Rindt curve, or is it the Meyerwald corner? I'm not sure. But into turn number 10, very flat, kind of a flat out corner, and across the line it is a 168. We didn't do much laps in practice, but I ain't really disappointed with that. But I think it is time we move on to qualifying. Well, it is time for the Austrian Grand Prix. It is qualifying for Sunday's race. And as you can see, there's weather on the way. Rain is on the way. Of course, Max Verstappen, the main man, has a lot of poles around this track. But I don't really care about that. This is the F1 game. Anything is possible. Even if we didn't do so well in practice, I believe qualifying could be good. So we're coming for our first flying lap of the day. As you can see, a few raindrops dropping already. Into turn number 1, we've gone a bit wild. At least we didn't lose the rear like we did in practice. And then coming up the hill and through the kink of turn number 2. Under that sign is the second sector, is where you're gonna indicate that you've gone through the second sector. But into turn number 3, as we go well wide, there's the grip. There's no grip at all. We want to make sure that this flying lap is quick enough to put us into Q2. We do not want to get knocked out. We did so well in Canada that we even got to Q3. That was because the contenders, the front runners, were at the back. But this could be another scenario where the front runners come out the latest and then don't get a proper flying lap in the dry. But coming up the hill, and now I think this is the Jochen Rindt corner. Into turn number 9, you want to carry the speed a lot. Don't go wide there, otherwise your lap time is getting deleted if you have strict corner cutting rules. I have regular. And across the line, it is a 1 minute 6.7. Not bad, but we're in P5. Let's just see how it's going to be. Are we going to go for another flying lap? We've got Antonio Giovinazzi here who needs to back off before I start crashing into other guys. But up the hill into turn number 3, sort of up the hill. Yes, now we're up through, but the delta isn't looking so good. We're about 500ths off our previous lap and Pierre Gasly's lap. As we go deep again, it shows that the rain is pouring now. The grip is falling. We're on soft tires, which means we don't really have maximum grip. We've lost about 3/10 just through that. We've lost 1 second to Esteban Ocon, so I think it's about time that we just pull over. So we're in P11 at the moment, which means we are through to Q2. And with 1 second left, now qualifying 1 is over. We want to see how we've done in the session. We are P11 at the moment. No one actually went out on track because lap times were not going to improve. But we are in P11 with Valtteri Bottas being the fastest. Lewis Hamilton is out of qualifying, and Mick Schumacher, our teammate, is 21st place. But Hamilton is out once again out of qualifying. So now we're in full wet conditions with the full wet tires, and into turn number 1 we've had to brake so early because it's not the dry, but we've nearly lost the rear there. We want to keep it together. We don't want to lose any part of our car throughout this session. It shouldn't be a repeat of season 1, the disastrous Austrian Grand Prix we had. But into turn number 3 we've gone well wide there, just like our previous lap in Q1, our only lap of the session. But now coming down the hill towards turn number 4, this would be a proper overtaking spot in the race. But as for qualifying, you're not really overtaking anyone, so you want to find as much traction as you can in these wet conditions. It's not going to be easy, but we just have to maximize the best we can. We just have to do the best we can. Of course, we're still a developing team. This could be the last season. Like I said, if you guys are the OGs, if you guys are the OGs, you will stick around. But the second lap, our first lap wasn't really the best, but a 1:18.4, that isn't really the best. We're second off. And in our final lap, I think that we've messed up everything. Jeff told us to go on to wet tires, but everyone else is going on to intermediates. So that means our session is done. Just look at that. Just look at that. We've got, I think that's the AlphaTauri alongside us. But our session is completely done because it's not that wet anymore. And I think I should have gone into intermediates. Jeff kind of destroyed everything for us. And at the moment, it looks like we are starting down in P16. Well, at least we're not last, but we're lost in Q2. I believe we could have done better, as Valtteri Bottas nearly got knocked out there. But I think now we just have to get through to the race.
Good afternoon and welcome to Spielberg, and to a circuit that in one form or another has held every Austrian Grand Prix in the championship except the very first back in 1964. It was at this race that John Watson lost a bet and his beard when he took Team Penske's only F1 victory in 1976. If anything, the stakes are even higher today, with 25 points available for victory and a crucial advantage in the championship fight. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts, making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of Turn 3. 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. And I'm joined once again by Anthony Davidson to bring you the lowdown for today's race. Let's begin by discussing Daniel Ricciardo. Looks like they've got a tough race in store today, as grid penalties from changing power unit components has forced them further down the field.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. It's Sergio Perez on pole position today, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Vettel, Charles Leclerc and Sainz, Kvyat, Ocon, Magnussen and Lando Norris, Albon, Stroll, Pierre Gasly, Roberts, Hamilton, Ricciardo, Antonio Giovinazzi and Nicholas Latifi, Russell, Schumacher, Raikkonen and Romain Grosjean sits at the back of the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Well, here we are for the big one, the Austrian Grand Prix, starting from P16. Let's see if we can maximize the disastrous qualifying session we had. We're going with a two-stop, soft to medium. That's how it's going to be in this 36-lap sprint to the checkered flag. It's not really a sprint, but this showdown. This showdown. But we're going for the formation lap, just revving the car, maximizing everything. We start P14 because of a few grid penalties. So now I believe we can get ready for the Austrian Grand Prix. Let's see how we do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the steering wheels, the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go. A bit of wheel spin there. There's a Racing Point that's on pole position here, but we've got a Racing Point ahead of us. We're nearly going 3 wide into turn 1. We've got a Williams and AlphaTauri in the middle there, and we're nearly going 3 wide again on the straight there. We've got George Russell ahead of us. We're in P14. That's where we stay, and now we're going to try and go as Russell makes a big send there. We're going to make a big send of our own there, but we give Gasly a little push. Hamilton is behind us there. We got a collision with him somehow. I don't know how that's happened. We're just going to tell Jeff to shut up a little bit because it's the first lap. We have to keep everything clean. We do not want to mess up everything. But there's still a long way to go. 35 laps in this Austrian Grand Prix. We were just trying to chase down George Russell. And speaking of chasing him down, we're going to do exactly that by going onto the grass there. He left us a bit no room there. We don't leave him any room. We actually give him a little bang there. But we don't want to make damage to our car, neither his. So far, I think we've progressed very, very well. Next up is Lance Stroll. I don't know if we're going to catch up to Lance Stroll, really. But on to lap number 6. Let's just see how we go. We have a bit of a snap there as Pierre Gasly gets an amazing run out of turn 8. And into turn number 9, we go a bit wide and we've just had to forfeit the position to Gasly. But we're going to have the DRS on him. But are we going to catch up to him immediately? Or maybe we'll just have to wait for some time to catch up to the AlphaTauri driver and the Frenchman. But through turn number 1, we just cut the corner a little bit there. Now into the slipstream. Let's see how we're going to maximize the slipstream here. We're going to get a massive toe from him there. It's not really worked out. We're going to make a big send up the inside, just like we did to George Russell, except without the contact. And we're back and up into P13. Let's see if we can chase down Lance Stroll in the Racing Point. Not Racing Point, but the 2019 Mercedes as we go absolutely deep into turn number 4. That's not what we want. But again, we haven't even lost any time at all. Doesn't look like it. But we can still progress in this race. I don't think our chances of getting points are over yet. If we play our cards right in the strategy, I assure you guys that we will get there. As Gasly gets an amazing run once again, but this time he doesn't get ahead. We block him off, not too dangerously, but we just defend well there. And they're coming across the line to start lap number 8 of the Austrian Grand Prix. We've got Lewis Hamilton going side by side with Antonio Giovinazzi there behind. I just got a glimpse of it, but we are progressing well. We are progressing well, even though we've made up only one spot. I don't think there's anything bad to that. Maybe if we can try and set the fastest lap of the race, I'm sure that would be good. We should try and get ourselves into the top 10. Now Lewis Hamilton is behind us here. We just have to try to defend from the 7-time champion. Of course, he won the title last season. We've gone deep. Oh, he's clipped our front wing there. Oh my goodness me, that's not good for our race. That's not good for our race. We won't have any aero at all. There's going to be a lot of understeer, but Gasly has gotten ahead of us. Hamilton has pulled clear of us, but since the pit window is close to opening, we will just pit when the window opens. But we've gone very deep there. This is what I was talking about, the understeer. These F1 cars and racing cars in general just get a lot of understeer, especially open wheel cars, when there's a lot of wing damage. But that's technically revenge for Canada, for Lewis. I punted him off in Canada. He's punted me off here in Austria. Well, Canada is his sort of favorite track. He's got one of the most victories there. He's one of the drivers that's got the most victories at that certain track. And for me, who's good at this track, that's revenge for me. Instant karma, I guess. But the pit window is open with about 15. Is it 15 laps to go? No, it's not. I think it's 15. But we change our front wing. It's a 6.1 second pit stop. At least it's not 9 like it usually is. But we're way behind. We're gonna need to make up a lot of time in this stint. We're next going on to the medium tires here. But at this rate, we just have to push as hard as we can. We've got Romain Grosjean and Daniel Ricciardo into the pits. Daniel Ricciardo so far back, as we've got Romain Grosjean there coming out of the pits. That was a fantastic turn 1, and now we get ahead and we're up into P20. So we are making a comeback. It's comeback time, and it looks like we still got some other cars left to pit. Although we have to pit ourselves, it's a 2-stop race, so let's not expect everything to go our way, but it's going to be quite difficult. Next we got Mick Schumacher, our teammate, who's into the pits. He's come out of the pits there. We've overshot turn number 1, but we get ahead as now Grosjean gets ahead. Well, he's taken 2 positions in 1 there, I guess. But we still have a bit of a small gap to form up as we go up the inside. A little nick of the position. And thank you very much, Roman. I get the place back. But there's still other guys to pit. George Russell, I think, has to pit. No one is actually going to be staying on the soft tires for such a long time. We're going to have to see multiple cars coming into the pits very soon. We've got Raikkonen into the pits, Russell into the pits. Grosjean is pitted again. I don't know how that's happened, but Russell is just coming out of the pits. We've gone well wide at turn number 1, but we can't slow down because we got Russell there. But we're up to P18. I guess the comeback is coming. We're forming a comeback, and I love to see the way this is sort of going here. But at least we're not lost. But Russell is still quick because he's on newer tires. Latifi has to pit as well. There's absolutely no way that he's staying on those tires unless he's also doing a 2-stop, just like we are doing. But Giovinazzi and Latifi are into the pits. Giovinazzi's at the exit of the pits. He's just coming out. Latifi, I think, is just behind us there. Where is Nicholas Latifi? He's just come out out of the pits, and I really think we can get points if a safety car was to come out here. Never say never. Safety car is possible. Anything can happen around the Styrian Hills. And speaking of a safety car, there's actually someone slowing down. It looks like it's a McLaren. It's an orange little dot. Yes, there's a yellow flag on the mini-map as we nearly lose the rear. Carlos Sainz is out of the session and the safety car is deployed. This is exactly what we needed. But again, the pit stop window is almost open. which means we're gonna have to go on to something bold here. So he's pulled off at turn 6. Yes, he's pulled off at turn 6. Sort of the fast left-hander. Yes, he's just on the outside there. There is Carlos Sainz. He's out of the race. Well, this safety car would benefit us a little bit, but it's come at the time when the pit stop window is just about to open here. And now we've got Daniel Kvyat here, who's going towards the safety car and has crashed into the safety car. Oh my goodness me, talk about one hell of a race here, as Alex Albon now crashes into Daniel Kvyat, who's already out of the race. Well, what a race this is going to be. We've got 2 guys out as we nearly jumped Giovinazzi under the safety car. We're not allowed to overtake under the safety car. We've got 2 guys that are also well behind, but the safety car could come into the pits. At the moment, those guys almost catch up, because the safety car has to wait for every single car to catch up to the safety car queue, and that is when the safety car can come into the pits. It can't just go anyhow. It has to wait for the field to be ready, tires warmed up, and everything all right. But this is going to be controversial. This is going to be crucial, because we could lose some time out of the pits. Lap number 20, Jeff has opted for a new strategy, but we may just lose some time here. It's going to be crucial for us, so I think we may have to stay out. I don't know if I've messed up my own race. I think I may have messed up my own race, guys. I think I have messed up my own race. This is not good. Absolutely dreadful. This is not good. I don't think we've done the right call. I think we should have pitted. Jeff opted for a new strategy. I'm sure that may have helped us, but instead we've ruined our own race. While we've got Sebastian Vettel in 12th, which is close to the points, we have sort of ruined our own race. I don't like that. That is not good. That ain't good. But we'll have to see. If we are on newer tires, I'm sure these other guys that are on soft tires again will have to pit as well. But I think it's only me and Mick that went for the 2-stop strategy. Everyone else going on a 1-stop. But we just need to play our cards right. I wonder when the safety car is going to come in. Oh, speaking of which, it's actually in this lap. So we have to catch up to the pack. We have to see how our strategy call is going to work out. If we lose touch of getting points, I won't really be disappointed, because well, it's a kind of unfortunate. I was expecting some big things at this Austrian Grand Prix, but the reality is poor. Maybe we'll have to chin up for Silverstone. We've also got Hungary this season. We've got Belgium. We've got Italy. Italy, the temple of speed. I'm really strong around that track as well. But now it's time to prepare to go racing and see what we're going to do with our strategy. Coming out of the final corner and green flag racing. When we cross the starting line, that's when you can overtake. Now, well, let's chase down Antonio Giovinazzi. We might not stay ahead of him for a very long time, but I can tell you guys that this race hasn't really worked out for us. But there's always next time. There's always next time. We make a move up the inside of Giovinazzi, nearly up the inside of Vettel. We just give Giovinazzi a little chin there, a little tap. Not an aggressive one, but just a little friendly tap. But we're up to P number 13 with 19 cars remaining in this race. Carlos Sainz, Alex Albon, and Daniel Kvyat all out of the race. It's a big shame for them. But it's a big shame for us, because we've dropped down to P18. We've got George Russell into the pits. He also went on to a 2-stop strategy, and he's still in his pit box. Now it's actually coming out. So into P17 we go. And yeah, I really kind of think that we may have gotten points. I believe we could have gotten points if we played our cards right. As George Russell comes to attack us once again here. But he's pulled away. Yeah, he's pulled away. So we just need to stay in touch with him. Otherwise, we lose 17th, but we're really not fighting for anything. My goal here is just to catch up to Russell so we can maintain our place. We finished in qualifying. It's kind of a stupid idea, but it's the goal I want for a team that's still being that's still under progress. We've still got a lot of money. We're not bankrupt yet. We still have a bright future ahead of us if it's not the last season. So we could have sent it up the inside of Russell into turn number 4. We just had to lock up there to avoid contact with him. But we're still pushing. We are still pushing. 5 laps to go in this race. Let's just see if we can close the gap between me and Russell. Probably Latifi is out of range, but anything is possible. The faster we are, the better. And now we're getting the tow here with 2 laps to go. We are just about to catch up to Nicholas Latifi. We are actually 2 seconds behind as we go around the outside of George Russell into turn number 3 up to P17. At least that's a consolation for us. But can we catch up to Nicholas Latifi? Here we are catching up to Nicholas Latifi. It looks like his hard tires are gone. That's the thing. If these guys were on a 1-stop, they have to do some very difficult tire managing here from the pit stop window opening about lap 13, and they have to manage it all the way to lap number 36, which is right now the final lap of the race. Their tires are completely gone. For us who are doing the 2 stops, we've got some fresher tires here, and now we're slipstreaming Latifi. We're going to do what we did to his teammate around the outside of turn number 3. We've got the speed, we've got the traction, we've got everything. And Sergio Perez wins, which is possibly his 3rd consecutive race. This is an incredible performance from Sergio Perez. I think he was one that started on pole. But we're up to P16 right now, so which means the position we finished in qualifying is the position we finish in the race. I know we're not going to make any mistakes because Austria, I barely make mistakes on the final lap. Please don't remind me of Season 1, because Season 1, I didn't know what I was doing. But Russell is slightly closing up, but I don't think he's close enough. But coming into turn number 9 and rounding up turn number 10 and on to the final straight, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Austrian Grand Prix. I would have expected better, but not too bad from us. Lewis Hamilton gets driver of the day after starting behind us. He finished ahead of us in the Mercedes.
A fantastic team effort to secure victory here in the Styrian Alps. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
The Racing Point team will be very happy with today's performance and the final result. Another display of excellent driving and excellent teamwork, and a well-deserved first-place finish.
Well guys, that was the Austrian Grand Prix, a race I expected better results from, but instead we didn't get that much of good results. But I'm still happy that we're not lost. But we can fight back next time. So it was a really average performance as we got some Max Verstappen fans. Hamilton actually came to finish 7th from 15th, and Lando Norris from 10th. Finished 6th, not really anything to be surprised about, but Pierre Gasly from 13th, he finished 8th, and us from 14th, well, it's 19th.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy. Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing. There was quite a lot of contact today, wasn't there?
Well, guys, that was an eventful Austrian Grand Prix. We can work hard for it some other time. We can work hard for the next race. But guys, that wraps up today's episode. If you did enjoy it, then please remember to smash the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments about this episode and about everything else. And guys, I want you guys' thoughts whether this series should continue even after F1 2021 comes out. And I'll see you guys next time. Remember to say your thoughts. Shall we continue after F1 2021? Goodbye.